If you had my weekend, you'd laugh too. Hi, hello, welcome. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us on the best day of the work week. It is Monday for you people in Balkanville who probably haven't gotten up yet, but hey, some of them have. Anyway, great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Brandon reminded me of comments I've made in the past. Only the funny ones.
Yeah.
I said, I never said that. He said, yes, you did.
Oh,
said,
I know
God.
you did.
I
ain't making that up.
He got buddies of his that would confirm it really quick, so let's don't do
that.
Oh, man, if you can't laugh at yourself, who the heck can you laugh at? Anyway, thank God for life. Anyway, 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. Matter of fact, I'll be here through Thursday. Mark Pope was sitting on Friday. Next week, we kind of got a road week. We will be, Monday, Hickson Autoplex, Alexandria. Tuesday, Dr. Snow, Lake Charles. Thursday, we'll be at the Mudbug Festival in Shreveport, Louisiana. So we kind of got a road warriors next week. Brian always laughs at how much I got to travel, but it's all cool.
Man loves to travel, like Stevie P said. Man loves to travel.
It's great to go around the state. I met, you just wouldn't believe the great people we have right here in the state of Louisiana. I've met a lot of them. Boy, they're a lot of fun. All right, 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Session down about 3 weeks. I don't know what kind of tax deals are going to be cut. By the way, the press and the left blame Putin and Russia for Trump winning, and now Putin and Russia is blaming the U.S. for the hacks on 1,000 or more computers hit by ransomware. So how you like that? We blame them, and now they're blaming us. So ain't that cool? Y'all blamed him and Russia for something that never happened, and they turn around and they're going to blame United States now. We've been blamed for what happened. It's amazing. Politics is an amazing game. The art of it is an amazing game, and it's all about perception and who wins, and that's it. Politics is perception. Again, example. By the way, they did it again. Jim Beam, Deputy Press Secretary for John Bell Edwards, of course, she's general in every article, picks up Bell Edwards in every article, and so does the Assistant Deputy Press Secretary, Tyler Bridges. Folks, this story by Bridges, though, kind of sums up what I've been explaining now for 23 and a half years on the air, of how politics is about money and it's a game, and if you can buy votes, that's the key. Now, Bridges in his headlines kind of tells you that. State faces shortage of dollars for construction projects, which complicates Governor Edwards' job. In other words, if I don't have money to give to elected officials, then they're going to vote with me. If I don't have money to give to elected officials, that's what the headlines say. And if you listen to the elected officials, they start talking about Democrats. Let me tell you what, I told y'all all this earlier. I'm backing up because I just want to remind the folks that listen to me. Bell Edwards, once he's elected, he's got to turn around and give out money to the people who helped get him elected. He's got to turn around and give money to his Democrat base. He's got to give money to the Democrat politician and Republicans for Edwards. Remember them. He's got to turn around and give them money and projects or he can't get reelected, which means this whole article by Bridges proves the point we have a spending problem. You and me are the pawns. You and me, the middle class, or where they're going to get all the money from. And this is so simple to read this. Now, some of you people don't do this for a living, and I do, but when I read this, I just kind of go, wow. They want higher taxes and higher taxes, which, by the way, they got $2.8 billion over the last couple of years. It's not enough. Why? Because I can't buy enough votes with that. I mean, the article, the construction projects. Now, you think I'm messing with you, okay? Let me quote none other than the magician, the grown-up in the room, everybody who loved John Alario. Let me quote him. By the way, I'm not one of them. Alario, quote, "It's a lot easier when the governor has extra money to help in different parts of the state." Ain't that cool? They sitting there telling you that we got to buy votes. We can't buy votes, man. What are we doing down here? And nobody buys votes better than John Lario. Nobody. There's never been a better deal maker, or vote getter, or vote buyer than John Lario. None, not even close. But here's what's funny. Edwards also has prompted complaints from Democratic legislators for keeping the dollars flowing for projects in the Republican districts that former Governor Bobby Jindal was funding. Remember Jindal? Jindal was the guy that was going to be different. We're doing things different. I told y'all then it was. Took 7 years for people to catch up with me. 7 years ahead of every reporter, which is not that hard. Tell the truth, you get way ahead of a reporter. That's easy to beat a reporter. So simple to beat a reporter because all you have to do is stick to the truth, and they will only take sides and never come forward with the truth. So we got an article written. They're sitting here telling us John Lario, Tyler Bridges, we got to buy votes. Democrats upset that they're not being bought off. They want their money. And see, this is what makes me mad. Why here? Democrats are especially peeved because many Republicans have refused to support any new revenue measures. Let me put that simple. Taxes. Okay? They should have never voted for that sales tax. They should have never gave them that extra money because this whole thing is about this stupid sales tax. But you see, folks, the little bitty dirty secret is we want to be paid for delivering for Bill Edwards. Bill Edwards is no different. He voted for 5 or 6 of 8 Bobby Jindal's budget. They keep forgetting that. I guarantee you he voted for every capital outlay program. Every one. I didn't look at that, but my guess is he voted for every capital outlay deal. They weren't capital outlay projects for my district in 8 years, said Robert Carter, Democrat. Folks, the Democrats want to know where's our money. And without Bill Edwards, if Republicans were smart enough, they would never give him another penny right now. Edwards is a one-term governor. They don't give him any money. He's definitely a one-term governor because he can't buy the votes he needs. He can't keep up with the people who supported him with the promises of money. And this was all promised during the Bill Edwards run. That's why they're panicking. But what makes me mad is they're not being honest with you and me, that they just want more tax dollars so they can keep playing a game. This is a game to them. And it's big money. That's all this is. We're the pawns. It's a game. They don't want to change anything. Nobody is talking about changing the way we spending money. And I'm telling y'all this is a spending problem. So what do? They want to buy some more votes. And these Democrats are starting to get upset. They interviewed Governor Blanco. Quote, former Governor Blanco, most legislators don't come built in with a lot of courage. Ooh. As Blanco said it. You save it for very important votes, for the most challenging things that have to be done. In other words, you don't give them something till they vote the way you want them to vote. Then you buy the vote. Added if the practice was unseemly. She replied, they're asking Governor Blanco basically, do you think this is right? You basically, they don't put it the way I'm going to put it. You're basically buying votes. Next to former governor, you're basically buying votes. Blanco says, you ready? There are no such things as purity when it comes to negotiating. You hear the expression win-win? That's what this is. You get something, I get something. It becomes evil only if it's abused. Governor, this has been abused to no end. How much more evil does it need to be? I mean, I'm reading this. This whole article is how the art of buying votes, the art of raising taxes so they can have money to buy votes. The whole article's about this. I'm just shaking my head. I'm going, holy cow, they're actually writing about this stuff now. Bernie Pence in that. He can take credit for when he runs for re-election. He can say, but for my efforts, we still have that bad bridge or old blacktop. Hey, I got that done. That's what went down to Baton Rouge for. It is. Legislators work hard on things they think will help them win re-election. I mean, You cannot put it any better than that. This whole thing is about vote buying. By the way, you cannot read a Jim Beam piece or a Tyler Bridges piece without them saying these words. When Edwards took office, he inherited it. He didn't inherit a dang thing. He was part of making this happen just like it is. And Edwards is part of keeping it that way, too. You can't read one without them saying, Jira, the Jendo era spree. Edwards had nothing to do with any of this, folks. Innocent Edwards. God, folks, this is an article on buying votes. By the way, Miguez is in here. Some other legislators. We'll share it when we get back. Buying votes out in the open. They're telling you how to do it. People think I'm crazy, but I'm not. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Thanks for being part of the program. Thank you very much. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. Now, look, I got some Jim Beam pieces. I want to thank Bernie, our news lady, who does produce us from time to time when Brandon takes one of his many vacations. Brandon's going, thank you, boo. Keep throwing me under the bus, brother.
Well, I'll have to thank her again for Tuesday of next week.
Yeah, this is a pre-thank, huh?
Yes.
I like that. Anyway, it's the general. Anyway, Tyler Bridges, let me just finish this, because I do want to get to the Beam piece. They actually, and Miguez, Representative Miguez, who we had on last week, was in the paper as a quote, too. Quote, the fact that there's less capital outlay has created a fracture in the armor of his own side, the Democrat Party, who are unhappy because they can't achieve some of the capital outlay goals in their districts that they like. And, folks, that's our other problem. We spend too much money locally from state government, and it's why we have a spending problem. This is a massive, massive spending problem in Baton Rouge, and they don't want to deal with it. They want all their local projects. They want to have too many universities. They want all the number of state employees. They want everything. That's the problem. But I pointed this out so many times, it's not even funny anymore. The problem is them. Miguez also says the Democrats having to go home and get flack from small business owners and taxpayers by having voted to impose tax increases. But in the past, they could say they got that bridge or sewer done. They don't have that narrative to tell now. That's why Republicans have to hold out on this overtaxed society that we're living in now. Legislators expressed unhappiness to the governor at recent House Democratic caucus meeting. Fair to say that many of the legislators in both parties and both chambers share the governor's frustration with the inability to properly fund important projects. Folks, if it's so important, let me ask a question. If it's so important in these local municipalities in the area, why don't you raise taxes locally? Oh, that's right. A lot of them got slaughtered a few weeks ago. Now, Jim Beam. Oh, Jim Beam. God bless him is all I can tell you. Jim don't have a clue anymore. I want you to listen to this. The first one, if I can pull this out real quick. Beam says that what makes this frustrating is the next time lawmakers can raise revenue during a regular session is 2019. Said it's a struggle for lawmakers to pass taxes that please residents. Listen to this.
The general population, for some reason, has suddenly decided no more taxes. I think, and I think these legislators are feeling that pressure.
You think, Jim? Wow, Jim Beam got it right, folks. Hey, 50-something years, he's finally getting it right. By the way, I know Greg Hillman won't get it right. It don't matter what they say. If Greg Hillman just started covering the legislature, he's got 54 more years to figure that out. Folks, you heard Beam? You heard what he said? The people back home don't want any. So if any of these lawmakers pass taxes, we need to beat the heck out of them in 2 years. We need to beat them bad. Play that one more time. But this is Jim Beam. I'm not making this up. This is out of his mouth.
The general population, for some reason, has suddenly decided no more taxes. I think, and I think these legislators are feeling that pressure.
Do you like how he put, for some reason, the general population don't want to raise taxes, Jim? They probably don't want to raise them because they can't afford them. Jim, we had a flood last year. Probably 30% people are still not back in their homes, Jim. Jim, we had a recession. We've been in one. My God. All right. He's got two more in here, Brandon. See, 14. Beam says the goals coming into session with a reform of the state's tax structure, make changes to the criminal justice system, and raise money to avoid the $1.3 billion cliff. Says House Republicans refuse to pass legislation recommended by Edwards. By the way, which is smart on them. Here we go.
You know, you kind of hope that people will go to Baton Rouge with a more cooperative attitude, at least to try to get something done. But that committee has rejected a lot of good legislation.
That committee's saving our rear ends, Jim. That committee that you keep talking about where Republicans are ahead are doing exactly what you said in the first comment because people back home can't handle any more taxes right now. We're trying to keep afloat, Jim. You don't understand that, Mr. Jim Beam, because you got your nose in the rear end of Jim Bell Edwards, and you don't want to move it. You become his deputy press secretary. You're right there with him all the time, Jim. Last one. Beam again says what makes, by the way, as far as this compromising has got us in this position. Compromising has got us the debt, unaccrued liability, the education system, too many employees, too many universities. That's what's got us in this position, Mr. Beam. He needs to be beamed up. Let's, last one. Beam says what makes us so frustrating next time lawmakers can raise revenue during a regular session is 2019. Says it's a struggle for lawmakers to pass taxes that pleases residents.
That's unfortunate. It's very frustrating that there's so much inactivity, such little bit of progress, and we're not anywhere close to accomplishing any major legislation.
Yeah, but Jim, if everything stays like it is, we take an important step to understand we can have a standstill budget and still survive because everybody in Louisiana just about is living on a standstill budget or less than a standstill budget because the median income, a house of four, is their income's down, Jim. We're already living through that. When do you tell a legislator, why don't you live like the people live? Jim, why don't you look and see what people are saying? Why don't you go out to the public? Come on the program, Jim. I said some few choice words. Got a few more for you. We got to take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Let them know when you're coming, and you can be in and out in 30 minutes. No need for the emergency room anymore. Hey, x-rays, sinus infection, broken bones, they do it all. So excited to serve you in the Abbeville area. Did you hear me right? Yes, you did. Vermilion Urgent Care is now open in Abbeville in the Walmart Shopping Center. They're open. They're ready to serve you. That's ulandhealth.com, ulandhealth.com. Don't waste your time in the emergency room. Let's get you in and out quick. Vermilion Urgent Care now serving Abbeville in the Walmart Shopping Center. Vermilion Urgent Care. Looking forward to serving Abbeville and the surrounding areas.
There are at least 25 things that I find so reprehensible that I refuse to do them, unless they can get me out of painting the house.
Oh, like using a teaspoon to fill every pothole in Lafayette.
Fill every single pothole in Lafayette or paint? Nah, I'll just call Rhino Shield. They do it all, from prep to cleanup. There's no chipping, peeling, or cracking, and it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. Call 844-GO-RHINO or online at justcallrhinoshield.com.
The general population, for some reason, has suddenly decided no more taxes. I think, and I think these legislators are feeling that pressure.
Yes, I wonder where they're getting that pressure from. Amazing. Brandon, did y'all see this? Somebody posted Moss Bluff Elementary shooting.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's at our website, kpl965.com.
What's the detail? You got any details?
I got a chance to look at the story yet, but Bernie put it up.
Yeah, they said pray for the child shot at Moss Bluff. Child was in first grade and shot in the classroom. In the classroom, Brandon.
Oh, man.
I got this from, I ain't going to say this. It said, please have your audience pray for the child shot at Moss Bluff Elementary today. Child was in the first grade and shot in the classroom. Man. Anyway, if you find any more information.
It says this is the Facebook group Citizens of Moss Bluff Be Informed, says that the shooting has to do with a child who brought a gun to school. They say it was likely dropped and the gun fired. One child was taken to a Lafayette hospital, but there's no other information at this time as to the extent of the child's injuries.
Oh, man. God have mercy. Just makes you sick. I just came across that. Y'all actually put that out earlier today, but that's the first time I've seen it. Just makes me sick. Our prayers do go out for the family, for the school, and all those. How about kids that saw that too as well, Brandon?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's a combination of a lot of things right there. If you're in the school and you hear about that, these little kids, always at the end of the school year, something like this happens. Don't have any other detail, folks. If I had them, I'd be glad to pass them along to you. Just makes my stomach turn with knots. I mean, a lot of us got kids at school every day, and you think, boy, you don't even think about it when you're dropping kids off at school. What can happen? And by the way, New Orleans agenda, how you like this? The left never quits. Of course, it's National Urban League president and CEO Mark Morial, who helped run New Orleans like everybody else. Can Black America stay strong under Trump? I got another question. How did Black America progress under Barack Obama? Say it again. How did Black America progress under Barack Obama? Can we go into the inner cities now and say, look at what this man did to help inner cities? Could we do that today, any inner city, Chicago, New Orleans, wherever? I don't think so. I bet it's a lot worse. But it's politics. Morial is such a political, you know what? I mean, he ran the machine down in New Orleans for a long time. I mean, everything's political. Barack Obama, I've been watching Saturday Night Live. They pounded Trump. If I just watched the news and all I did was follow the news, you think Donald Trump was the devil. But it's funny. The guy that was closer to the devil, the guy that hurt this country, who lied about everything, Obamacare being the biggest. By the way, premiums, more prices hiked likely for Obamacare insurance in the market. I mean, it just goes up and getting worse and worse. The guy that should have been taken down, when I say that, I mean politically and never won, was Barack Obama, the worst president we ever had by far. This guy was bad for this country. Nobody ever wrote a thing about him. Didn't matter what his border policies were. It doesn't matter what any of his policies were. He can sit there and tell American people that under my plan, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan. Your policy is going to go, you're going to save $2,500 a year on your policy. I mean, just outright lied. No big deal. It's Barack Obama. I mean, the one that they should have been writing about was a guy tied to the communists and the Marxists and the things of that nature. They didn't. Keep writing about Trump. I like Trump. The guy that should be writing about now in a negative way, that should have did it before he even got to be president, was Barack Obama. There's never been one this bad. Trying to destroy cultures and everything. They never wrote about him. So people really think this man was some kind of good president. $10 trillion worth of debt. Do you have that piece that, I know you do. Maybe we don't want to play that again. We blame Bush for all this unpatriotic, all that ran up $4.5 trillion. Obama run up $10 trillion. Nobody said a word. All you have to do is go to the inner cities. You'll find out Barack Obama didn't deliver nothing. Made it worse. Divide and conquer. I called him when he got to be president. Divide and conquer. Be worse.
The problem is that the way Bush has done it over the last 8 years is to take out a credit card from the Bank of China in the name of our children, driving up our national debt from $5 trillion for the first 42 presidents. Number 43 added $4 trillion by his lonesome, so that we now have over $9 trillion of debt that we are going to have to pay back. $30,000 for every man, woman, and child. That's irresponsible. It's unpatriotic.
4.3 trillion, irresponsible, unpatriotic. 10 trillion, not a word. Not a word. I love when his people call and go, he saved the plants. He ran up $10 trillion worth of debt. By the way, there's an article out, and I got it right here. I just didn't share it with you. The debt bomb that's coming to Donald Trump left by this president. It's crazy. All right, let's go to the phone line. Sydney in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Sydney, how you doing?
Hey, Moon.
Hey, sir, how you doing?
I'm great, sir. I've spoken to you before, and admire your work, admire what you do. And your question to your audience is, what did Barack Obama do for Black America?
Yeah.
Am I correct on that, sir?
Oh, yes, sir. I'd like to know what he did for Black America. Yeah, I'd like to know what he did for inner cities and how you could bring me around right now to show me the big difference he made.
Well, let me just say this. As a black man, a man that understands that we live in a nation that we are 400 years behind in education, behind financially, behind in every institution. We are, along with the American Indian, the secret of it all, the secret of everything that goes on in this country. Now, what Barack Obama did for this Black American and Black America is pull back that veil, and all of the ugliness, all of the hatred, all of the vitriol that's in that secret came flourishing to the top. And the whole world, not just Americans, but the whole world see it. I'm raising two boys, band-alone students, private school, and they may be the next president of the United States. But before Barack Obama, that was a pipe dream, or it wasn't a dream at all. It wasn't fathomably possible. That's what Barack Obama did. What his whole family did, what that beautiful family did, what his wife did was readjust the standards of beauty in this nation and what it is. You don't have to be blonde hair and blue eyes to be a beautiful person.
Sydney, look, if you're going to talk, that's fine, but give me something concrete, man. All that stuff, the emotional stuff, okay, we went through that. That's awesome. Proved we're not a racist country, right? But what happened once he got in? There was nothing. This man hurt us. He hurt us financially, hurt us on the borders. Healthcare destroyed. You wait. It's coming. He touched everything he touched, hurt this country. They never reported it. This man ties with people who hate this country. Say what you want to. If you brought me to the inner cities, you wouldn't show me anything. Now, if you want to say pride that a black man won, that's fine. I understand that. I give you that. But I already know that. You know that. I know that. Everybody knows that. What did he do? What did he do to advance the country? I mean, look, you heard me play the clip. He talked bad about Bush. Unpatriotic. Wrong the way he ran up $4.3 trillion. This guy runs up $10 trillion worth of debt. Nobody says a word. It's not even a big deal.
Ready to march us into. What you need to be worried about is what Donald Trump getting ready to do. Barack Obama is over.
Barack Obama has hurt us for years to come. How can you say Barack Obama's over? And I'm reading insurance hikes popping up again. We got 9 states. They got one insurance person in there right now. He hurt us, and what he's done at the borders with these illegals. Did you read the guy that been arrested, sent back out the country 15 times in illegal, let back in under Barack Obama, run over, shot a little 6-year-old boy? That don't bother you? It bothers me. I can't believe that. You can't name one accomplishment. Can you name one accomplishment? Just one that you think helped this country. Everybody. Helped everybody. Not black, not white. Everybody. Name what he did. What did he do?
You didn't hear me. You didn't hear me, Hamoon.
I heard you.
Your definition of success is what did he do financially for black folks?
No.
How did he help us get up out of pull out of my bootstrap? Hey man, what's more powerful now? I'm telling you what he did. You shut up and listen.
Oh, I ain't going to shut up and listen because I've already heard that, and that's fine. I give you the emotional side of it, the positive side of that. But as a president for 8 years, you can't sit here and name one dang thing the man did. One? Not one?
Yeah. Well, the one thing he did was made my boys understand that the White House and the entire world is all theirs. Because for 400 and something years, the lie was we could never accomplish anything. We're always going to be behind.
Let me tell you something. But your problem is your mentality. There's a lot of blacks, I mean hundreds and millions of them, that have accomplished stuff in the United States of America way before this man came along, and will later. They've accomplished it financially, in science, in sports, in education. They've been a big part of this country. So what you're telling me is your attitude needs to change, and I'm glad your attitude changed for your kids. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Sydney makes my point. I mean, nobody wants to talk about what happened those 8 years. They want to talk about first black president. Understand that. Excitement. But to sit here and say, for the first time, that black America can now, your kid could be president. How did Barack Obama become president? Man, blacks have done extraordinary things in this state. Hey, we celebrate a whole month in Black History Month and a Martin Luther King birthday. People can do anything they want in this country if they want to. I'm telling you, he says, I'm looking at it as money. Nobody couldn't answer the health care, none of that other stuff, the borders. He says, I didn't listen. I listened to every word, but that's all I ever heard. I've been knowing that for 10 years, 9 or 10 years. I'm not scared of Trump. If I read the newspaper and all I do is get my news from ABC, CNN, and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I'd be scared of Trump too. But they lie so much and give so much. But if they would have gave the truth on Barack Obama from day one, everybody would have been scared of that cat. Let's go to phone lines. Wendell, Shreveport. How you doing, Wendell?
Just fine, Mr. Moon. Mr. Moon, I just want to answer your question, what you was talking about to the gentleman.
Yeah, go ahead.
He done absolutely nothing for the black community, nothing. And that was my biggest issue because I was in Dallas-Fort Worth, and me and my brother got in a big, long debate about it. And I said, name me one thing he done to improve the black community. I told him, I said, I think that he was president for 8 years, and our race relations across the country is terrible. You would think we would be sitting around the campfire singing Kumbaya, but we're not. We're more at a pivotal point of going. I mean, racial that.
Wendell, let me say this, and I'm gonna throw this at you because I want you to comment on it. It's not that he didn't move us forward at all. But at least we had, for the most part, with white and black America, if you want to call it that. I like to call us all Americans. I think for the most part, everybody was going in the same direction. There were always going to be some on the left and the right, white and black, that didn't want it to go in the same direction. But it was going in the right direction. It's always going to be a pace that maybe we don't like. We'd like for it to be better. But the bottom line is he came in, and he made it worse. He made it a lot worse. And the fact, now, he didn't make it worse between you and me and somebody else, but what he did was, with the help of the press, they made it way bigger than something that was headed in the right direction should be. This gentleman could not tell me one thing. And that's what bothers me, because people are sitting here going, I understand the pride in black America. I understand man, I get that. Man, do I get it? I read history. I know we had slavery and all this crazy crap that people shouldn't have done. I understand. I get that. And I understand the guy said, I got 2 sons. Well, you mean to tell me till Barack Obama came along, what were you telling your sons? You can't make it in this world? You have no chance? When blacks have contributed to this country tremendously in every parts of society. They have. They always have. They always have.
Exactly. And I totally agree that I'm an African-American myself, and I'm going to put it simple. And I tell my brothers and my sisters, yes, I voted for Trump because I saw that. And I went back to the history of the Democratic Party and all this other stuff. They didn't want to hear all that. They didn't want to admit all that. I said, but I call it what it is. I said, we will start. I said, what? I said, if Hillary had got elected, what would North Korea be looking like today if she got elected?
Good point.
We would have been in trouble. And the thing about it, even with Barack Obama, we're starting to see the things that's going on. Like I told him, with all this stuff going on with Comey and all this stuff going on with these emails, somebody's hiding something from the American people. And I got a strange feeling it's going to go back to that administration that they knew what was going on, but they don't want to talk about that on, I call it the fake news network. They don't want to bring that stuff
But see, Wendell, they don't want to talk. They don't want to talk about the promises he made for health care. And it's been a disaster.
Right.
They don't want to talk about. They don't even talk about. Well, he said he's going to save me $2,500 a month. Then why is mine $32,000 a year now? He told I'm middle class. He didn't.
Exactly.
They don't want to talk about. He said if you like your insurance, if you like your plan, you can keep it, which was a lie. They don't want to talk about the destruction at the border. They don't want to talk about the debt.
They don't.
But Obama himself said Bush was unpatriotic. This is almost un-American. But yet he runs up $10 trillion. But we don't want to blame him. But we'll blame Bush. Well, hold up. If we blame the presidents, we blame them all or give them credit.
Right.
But they don't. When somebody calls the program and they can't give me any answers, I mean, he could have at least said he killed bin Laden. I'd have said, okay, got that one. Good, you got one.
Got that one.
That's good. We got bin Laden. I mean, I would say, hey, that's cool, but that's not what I get. Anyway, I got to go, Wendell. I think you make a great point.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. On the road, Miss Sheila. Sheila, how you doing?
Hi. I had the same kind of comment the last caller just did. Yeah, the other one before him got me so frustrated because I had a run-in just the other day. When they don't have nothing else to say, they bring that up. In my day, I mean, I'm from the old school. People respected each other. And that was the whole thing. Back then, people respected each other. And you bring to life what you do. And I just don't see, I mean, my high school friends that were black, all are educated and do things. They didn't have anything standing in their way, just like I didn't have anything standing in my way. And I'm part Indian.
But let me tell you something.
When you talk to the Indians, I mean, I don't hold nothing against nobody.
But Sheila, let me tell you something. Somebody looking, white, black, Indian, green, yellow, pink, it don't matter. If you look for an excuse, you can find one. You can't make me believe that this gentleman with his two sons only can look at Barack Obama's success, that now I know we can go do it. I don't believe that. Blacks, everybody's been a citizen of this country, okay? And even some non-citizens, but citizens of this country have had opportunities to contribute, and they have. And blacks have contributed immensely. All people have contributed immensely.
I have admired so many of my friends that have done so much, and I can't imagine. We've all had the same school, the same education, the same opportunity.
Yep.
And like you said, you put into what you get.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. If you'd like to be part of the program, it's your opportunity to be a voice. All righty. One other thing, I had to call and people commenting on dealing with President Obama. And as I said, if they really look at it, it's just not going to find any success stories. The killing of bin Laden, which, by the way, they just used Bush and Cheney and what they'd already set up. But and the lady called right there at the end and said something about the car being in the way, and somebody, I guess it was a black lady that popped off. What you only telling me that because of my race and because they know you're blocking the lane. But that's how they did with. They did with Bush. They did it with Trump. They take things and run the wrong way with them, and that's what Obama really led to was disunity in the United States of America. He separated. He divided us. They try to blame Tea Party and all that stuff. They didn't. The Tea Party people never went after Barack Obama for his race. They went after him for taxed enough already. What was it, 21 or 29 new taxes on the Obamacare? But they made it sound like he went after him because he was black. He never went after him because he was black. They went after him because he was what he stood for. And same thing with Rush Limbaugh. I hope he fails. Well, Rush clearly talked about his policies of basically socialism, communism, Marxism, all this stuff, control everybody's lives. He didn't fail, though. He didn't fail. He succeeded, which hurts us. The debt, it hurts us. You know, he can turn around and blame Bush, and he runs up 2.5 times. But if you say one thing about his debt race, I mean, come on, folks. Looking at all this monuments, ripping down history. You know? Ripping down history. By the way, I saw a quote dealing with getting rid of history. And let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see where I can find it real quick. Dang it. I had it right here, too. I wanted to share this. It is 1984, George Orwell. Every record has been destroyed or falsified. Every book rewritten. Every picture has been repainted. Every statue and street building has been renamed. Every date has been altered. And the process has continued day by day, minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the party is always right. 1984, George Orwell. Rewriting history. Federal government comes in and tells you what they can and can't do. It's amazing. It's just like the ACLU, the Atheist Civil Liberty Union. That's a joke. People have used them to win cases. They hate this country. They hate this country. Founder was Roger Baldwin. I am for socialism, disarmament, and for abolishing the state itself. I seek the social ownership of property, the abolition of property and sole control of those who produce wealth. Communism is the goal. ACLU. And the ACLU has been countered and grasped their policies by the Democrat Party. It's incredible to continue to watch. The same thing with the monuments. Mitch Landrieu, President Landrieu. He's going to run for president now. Did y'all know that? He gets to run president. And by the way, once again, headlines all over the place. More prices hikes likely for Obamacare insurance markets. With the latest departure, more than 40% of the U.S. counties would have only one insurer selling coverage, which the price would be jacked up. I mean, this has gotten so far out of hand with Obamacare. Once again, tell one of their voters that. Shoot. Man, you can't, I'm telling you, you cannot talk to an Obama voter. You just can't talk to them. They're black, they're white, they're green, they're yellow. You just can't talk to them. And if I was reading the headlines every day, and I got my news from CNN and ABC, I think Trump was the devil too. And I think Obama was great too, because you never saw anything bad written about him. He never got challenged on one thing. Marcel on the road. How you doing, Marcel?
Hey, Moon, I'm doing good today, man. According to a lib that I was having a Facebook discussion with the other day, we got it all wrong. It's not Obamacare. It's not Obamacare's fault. It's the insurance companies we should be mad at.
You ought to be mad at the insurance companies? The only thing I was mad at the only thing I got a little mad at the insurance companies was that they cut the deal with him, and I really think they thought it was going to be a good thing for him and ended up not being. I think the problem with that is, and just between you and me, the problem with that is that insurance companies, I think they got hooked into this. Marcel, are you there? Did we lose him? Okay. No, if he calls back, we'll put him back on. Anyway, it's the insurance company. I mean, it's going up and up and up and up and up. I mean, it's out of sight, but that ain't what we were promised. Even the people paying subsidies are going to get too high for. Competition for customers. This is what we always heard. It's just incredible to watch what happened with healthcare. Look, we always had a place for healthcare for poor people. We always had a place for them to go. One day when we're in ration care, Poor people are going to wish, and middle class are going to wish we had the old system. Even though everything was expensive. Look how expensive it is now. Just look at it now. It is an incredible thing to watch. And I know, going back to what that guy said, and the lady said it called last time, and something my mama taught me, and Brand, I guarantee you, your mama taught you too, and your daddy did too. Attitude, really, life is about attitude. My whole life is about attitude. I had to deal with stuff y'all don't. Y'all have to deal with things I don't. When I look up and saw a $32,000 premium for my insurance because of this guy called Obama, $32,000. Nobody's called me and said, boy, I feel sorry for you. Nobody that voted for Obama. They don't tell me what's my answer. First time I heard it, I laughed. Because I said, you know what? It's not going to beat me. It's not going to beat me. I sell my house before it beats me. It's not going to beat me. I'm not going to let it beat me. I got the good Lord on my side. I work hard. Me and my wife work hard. We're not going to let it beat us. Now, what did I just do? I gave you my attitude. I will not let it beat me. But when you got people out there because of Obama with this attitude, it's an attitude that you really think the best times of when this guy came in and this gave you hope. It's all about attitude, man. My whole life is about my attitude. Your whole life is about your attitude. When something happens good, you're thankful. When something happens bad, you need to be just as thankful. Maybe it's the best opportunity you ever had. I can't go, oh, boy, it's me. I thought Obama was going to give me something. Gee whiz. Unbelievable. But I'm telling you, if you tell somebody your car's in the way and the traffic stopped and you bring up race, that's attitude. The gentleman that called me earlier, first time ever, my kids think they can do, that's attitude, man. Attitude makes a difference in your life every single day because life is tough. Nobody ever said it was easy because it's not. Brandon has to come in here with the right attitude. The sucker got to work with me every day. Brandon's one of the ones
joking about that.
Brandon's one of the ones got to have the right attitude. He'll be thrown out of here. I'm blown away, one or the other. Rick and Benton, how you doing, Rick?
Hey, Moon, what's going on, sir?
Doing fine. Good to hear from you.
How about some good news for Louisiana?
I love to hear that any day.
Yes, sir. We got a little elementary school up here in Benton, Louisiana.
Yeah.
It's got 600 students in it, okay? We got a 24-member archery team. We just got back from Louisville, Kentucky, and we won the national championship from Benton, Louisiana, the Nationals.
Congratulations.
We beat every elementary school in the country. Okay?
Yep. That's awesome.
And what's crazy about it, we got first place, and there's a school right down the street. It's in Benton, too, and they got second place, Kingston Elementary.
Wow.
So you got two teams right here from Benton, Louisiana, that went up to the national championship in Louisville, Kentucky, and got first and second place out of about 168 elementary schools from all over the country. There was 15,000 shooters up there. It was wild. It's crazy.
Well, congratulations! I know that's an exciting time. Exciting time. Congratulations!
Yes, sir. We get to go shoot for the World Championship in Orlando in July. So just to let you know, good news for Louisiana.
Let me know how y'all do. Appreciate it. Good luck to you. God bless. All right, we got to run. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. How much does your attitude make a difference in how you live every day? It means everything to me when I get up in the morning. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. With us, 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. If you'd like to be part of the program, don't forget Walk-On's Official Sports Bar, the Moon Griffon Show, and it's a lot more than a bar. It's food and fun for the kids and for the whole family. You will enjoy it, I promise you. All righty, let's go to Representative Carmody joins us. Representative Carmody, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, but in a tough spot. Moon, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I got you. Okay, yes, sir, I got you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, sir. I'm in this bad spot on 49 north of Opelousas that just kind of in and out. Yes, sir. Today, House Bill 71 is on the House floor, and just wanted to make sure that everyone understood how much support had come from not only Louisiana citizens, many of whom are veterans, but also persons from across the United States that are interested in the same protection being placed, that it be the public's will if something were to be determined to relocate a military monument in Louisiana.
Well, no doubt about it. The bill's up. What time today?
It comes up this afternoon. We go on the floor at 1 o'clock.
Now, you've already passed the committee, so you get a House vote today?
Yes, sir, on the floor. That's the full body of 105 of us.
So basically, this bill is going to say that the people have to move and not the government, correct?
And if the government, and you kind of got to think about it like this. I mean, God save the King of New Orleans, but if you have a regime that comes into office that has an agenda that the majority of the people they represent don't like, then they just roll with it. And this at least puts the people into that equation, that if indeed a governmental entity now has some sense that this is causing heartache or creating hatred toward them, put it on the proposition in front of the people of that governmental jurisdiction and give them the opportunity to basically honor a veteran by going and voting, whether they want it or not.
Yeah, I like the bill. What do you think the chances of passing? I mean, this ought to be common sense to everybody. Because, like you said, it doesn't allow a government to come in and say, "Hey, it's out," like Mitch Landrieu's doing, basically.
Correct, but I know that I've always been open to what I think are good amendments to a bill, and my friend Mike Danahay from around the Lake Charles area was kind enough to come to me and say, "Thomas, what about an amendment to require that if that governmental entity wanted to place it on the ballot, it would have to be on a regularly scheduled election date, and a special election could not be called?" And I said, perfect. Again, we're trying to save the voters and taxpayers money.
Yeah.
But, Moon, talk about, you were talking about attitude earlier?
Yeah.
What if you woke up every morning with a hammer in your hand and decided you just wanted to waylay anything in your sight?
That wouldn't be good.
Think about that. Think well, kind of puts you in a mood, doesn't it?
Yeah, no doubt about it. But you know yourself, attitude affects everything, and that's what you're saying. If you get out with a bad attitude with a hammer in your hand, somebody's going to pay the price.
Well, and that's what I say, but that's not the way civility works, at least not the way my parents brought me up to relate to my neighbors and my friends. I mean, come on. And this is one of those things that, as I say, it is really humbling to read some of the letters from these veterans that I've read.
Have you gotten much resistance down in the legislature yet?
The persons that I think that have said that they had some hesitancy before, I think have looked at it now to say, if we don't move to try to provide this public input in it, then what's next?
Yeah, listen, I just got a email or text while I was talking to you. You know, they talking about doing this stuff not only around the rest of the state, but around the country.
Hey, because believe it or not, every time I walk in and pull that curtain shut to vote, I think about the veterans that paid the price to give me that right.
Yep.
They actually bled, which is why people commemorate their sacrifice as to what they were trying to fight for. And we can all disagree on whatever you want to split hairs, but we're all American.
Yep. Well, history's not going to change by getting rid of monuments either. Never have, never will.
I don't know. Keep reading 1984. I remember how it ends.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. All righty. What can people
God
do?
Bless you.
What can people do to help you, Representative Carmody?
They can certainly contact both their representatives before the vote on the House floor today, expressing their support. I hope. Maybe some people are opposed to it, but I come to default back to, if you put it in front of the people, give them the right information, they're always going to make the right decision.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. And then I live with it, the fact that that's the will of the people.
Well, I think the best.
We'll see how it goes. So if they contact their reps and senators, I'd appreciate it. House Bill 71.
By the way, I agree with you more when you say a regime comes in, because that's what'll happen. They'll come in and do it themselves. This way, they can't be dictator and God. you got somebody you work for, you got to listen to the people. All right, Representative Thomas Carmody, thank you, sir. Best of luck. God bless.
Thanks, sir.
All right, good thing we didn't text each other on this deal. By the way, Brandon, one little shout out to some guys that listen to me. I'm going to call them the front porch guys. They might be on the back porch, but the boys on the porch. These young gentlemen, these young gentlemen back there that get together every day and listen to the program. I just wanted to say hi to you guys up there. Because I don't know if you're on the front porch or the back porch, but y'all are on the porch. So God bless y'all. All righty, we're going to take a quick break. More of the Moon Griffon Show right after this. Moon Griffon Show, great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline if you'd like to be part of the program. Trump threatens to cancel all press briefings. If he did that, what would be wrong with that? How many of you people sit on your, for any president, sit back and go, I wonder what he's going to say today. What are we going to say today? You know, with tweets and Facebook and all that stuff, they have their press conference every day. Griffon, Griffon, you trying to protect Trump from something. No, I'm not. The people in the press corps are going to write or say whatever they want anyway. If he says something, they're going to be negative to him. If they say something positive, they're going to be negative to him. It doesn't matter what they say. It really doesn't matter. They're not going to ever write anything that's good about Donald Trump. Somebody just wrote me, Brandon. He says, as a veteran, I know exactly how to honor and thank a veteran. Walk up to a politician, punch him in the face. He said, that's how you thank and honor a veteran. I tell you what. I can't help it from a veteran, coming from a veteran. I can handle that. That's because elected officials have let us down so much. What they say and what they do. When a veteran, somebody that was in the military, went out there, it wasn't no fake stuff with bullets flying around your head. It wasn't fake when your buddy got killed or you got hurt or injured. That wasn't fake, was it? What these elected officials do to our system. It's incredible. Elected officials along with the press corps. It's still an incredible thing to watch. By the way, folks, the gas tax hike will be heard this week. 17 cents is what Republican Steve Carter's trying to do. Now, he's out of Baton Rouge, and I know the traffic's hell, but the roads should have been taken care of. We, the people, we don't have any extra money for roads right now. Economy dictates that. We don't have any extra money for roads. So there will be a vote. I look for it to get out to committee. It's House Bill 632, raise the state gas tax 17 cents a gallon, $510 million a year for road, bridges, and other forms of transportation. But nobody knows if the money's going to get to the roads. There's no way to have a $13 billion backhaul unless you didn't take care of business or spend money on roads. No way. Absolutely impossible. So what gives you confidence that they're going to do this? And I'm telling you right there, there's no confidence, and nobody else should have to spend a penny for roads at this point. By the way, they were interviewing people. They interviewed the former state Department of Transportation Development Secretary, Cam Mabasagi. Is that how you say his name, Brandon? Am I close?
Say that again.
Cam Mabasagi. He works
I've never seen the name.
He used to be the Department of Transportation Development. He works here locally with a local firm, and he's talking about needing roads and money and all that, but he works for a firm that will get benefit from road money. He works for a firm that would benefit from road money. So guess what? The people are lobbying for this. Contracts, road money. Once again, it's all about the money. Man, dang thing to do about anything else. Cornelius. How you doing, Cornelius?
Hey, Moon, my friend, and our friend, Como the Showmo.
What's going on?
Boy, Moon, you've been hot today, I tell you. You know, I'm one of your African-American listeners here in Alexandria, Louisiana.
You're African-American? I can't. Go ahead, Carnage. You know I had the best with you.
Oh, his phone cut out.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, now he's going to say I cut him because he's African American. You watch it. It'll be cold. Cornelius will be telling people. I don't think Cornelius would accuse me of that. Anyway, if folks watch the number of people that stick their nose out for the road tax in the private sector, go find out how much money they made off contracts through the last 20 or 30 years on our roads. All you got to do is go find out. And you will find out the people that are trying to make the money. Now, I look for this to get out of the committee. Now, you did hear what they're trying to do. I hope if the bill gets out to committee, they should let it get out exactly like it is. Because this is when me and you are going to go nuts. 17 cents a gallon, okay? It would also link the state's gasoline tax to the consumer price index, which would gradually raise it another 13 cents. So this bill they're trying to pass is a 30-cent increase on gasoline. I'm just telling y'all what they're trying to do. And if we sit back and watch it, they will shove this down our throat. It's a 30 cents gasoline tax that they're going to say is 17. 30 cents a gallon by a Republican in Baton Rouge. By the way, here's the other thing that was said the other day. The consumer price index, it can go up 13 cents to 30, but it can never go down. How you like that, folks? How you like that for a cliffhanger? This is our lawmakers who won't admit we have a spending problem. That's the bill that's coming up this week. Tax can go up 30 cents a gallon, but it can never go down. All right, Cornelius, real quick. Brother, what you were going to say?
Moon, I was just saying, on these monuments and stuff, I think they ought to stay up, but what they ought to do is add to them. In other words, some black historical figure and stuff. Don't take down the history, whether good or bad. It's part of the history.
I think more people would. I think more people would agree with what you said.
Yeah,
than taking down monuments at a cost to the taxpayers. And that does that mean like if the next mayor of New Orleans decides he wants them back up, he can put them up?
Well, what I was saying is add to it, not just
No. I'm saying I agree with you. I'm just saying if the next mayor comes along, can he say I want them back, and he puts them back, and then we're going to go through this again? Because the mayor in this case, President Mitch Landrieu is running for president. I don't know if you knew that or not. President Mitch Landrieu decided President Landrieu can run on this. When I become president, I'm taking every monument down. He can run on that stuff.
After you put the Confederate flag on the license plate. Huh?
Yeah, he voted for Confederate flags on a license plate. Then he voted to get rid of the monuments. That's Mitch Landrieu. That's Mitch. You see, when he did that with the deal, he thought he was going to be governor one day. So he needed the state. Now he's running for president. He's doing something to make sure he gets to the left, which you got to get to now in the Democrat Party. You got to be left of left. Fool.
But we need to support Trump. Moon, you know that.
Oh, if you don't support him now, he'll get devastated because of the swamp. The swamp's bad. It is bad. Let me run, Cornelius. One more for the break. Monroe, we go. Mr. Larry, how you doing, sir?
Pretty good. I just wanted to. You probably already heard about this, but Baytown, Texas, is fixed to get a new multi-billion-dollar Exxon facility. The Exxon had looked at coming to Louisiana, but bailed out and went to Texas over Governor Dumbbell Edwards' tax policies on business.
Oh no, yeah,
So
we did tell everybody about that a few weeks ago, and they cited our tax policy and not knowing what's going on. Now, trust me, they know what's going on in the area before they ever put their company there. If they don't, it's a bad mistake. So yeah, we kind of lost out on that.
Yeah, another one that I don't know that we can blame Edwards for this, but Graphic Packaging in West Monroe is, on the news they're saying they're building this new facility going to add 200 plus jobs to the community. But what they're not telling you is what a friend of mine told me yesterday that works there called me and said that what's happening is they're closing 2 other plants. They're eliminating 400 jobs and adding 200, which to me means you've still got a 200 job deficit.
That sounds about right. But if Greg Hillman wrote the story, that may be the problem. If you read a Greg Hillman story in Monroe, trust me, most of the time it's not right. Let me go, Larry. Thanks for the call. We got to take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. We'll be right back. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. If you'd like to be part of the program, it's your opportunity to be a voice, and I'm glad my friends on the front porch or the porch is still listening. They hadn't left me yet. All righty. You hear me talk about the pond doctor. Folks, listen up. If you got a beautiful pond, you had a beautiful pond in your backyard or maybe in your subdivision, maybe at your municipality golf course, and you really had some nice-looking ponds, and you go, look at the mess there on it. We let the weeds just grow over. It's going to destroy everything. It doesn't look good. Smells. You don't know what to do about it now. You think it's all lost. The pond doctor is looking for you. You need to be looking for him because he will tell you you're the person he's going to make happy, and it's not going to take long because the pond doctor goes in and cleans all this bad vegetation out that's choking your pond. Maybe you have fish and say, well, we used to catch fish in that pond. They're probably still in there, but they just can't grow anymore because you didn't take care of it. Let the pond doctor come in. Go to the ponddoctor.net, ponddr.net, and let him come in and do the work. There's pictures on the website to show you before and after in the work that he does. You can look at the machines. He doesn't need a dock to go launch something in there, folks. He drives this thing over the grass right into the water. I had an opportunity to watch this gentleman work, and I tell you what, at a retention pond, and he did a great job. He just cleaned it up. It was a great cleanup job. He doesn't use any pesticides. He does not disturb the aquatic habitat. It's eco-friendly. Call the pond doctor, 337-849-5752. Real simple, 337-849-5752. Call for an estimate or go to the ponddoctor.net. You're going down the road going, man, I need somebody to help me with my pond. I'm giving you an answer. He can reach anybody in the state. The pond doctor, ponddr.net, 337-849-5752. Miss Sue in Bossier City. How you doing, Sue?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Moon?
I am doing superb. Thank you, ma'am.
Well, listen, I'll try not to bother you too much, but on this praying for that little boy.
Yes, ma'am.
It's best. I just feel like we just, as Christians, I would like for us Christians that are listening to put Monday as a special day of prayer for our country, for Trump. I feel like God put him there. And I feel like as Christians, we have not done our jobs in prayer because God said if we don't have because we don't ask. And praying for that little boy and all the shootings in Shreveport and New Orleans, and it's just gone crazy, Moon.
I'm
87, almost 87 years old.
You don't sound over 50.
Well, thank you. Praise the Lord. But anyway, I went through World War II, and my dad was in World War I. Of course, I wasn't around, but, I've never seen our world in such a mess. And it's just grieving so many of us. So I would like to make a challenge to every Christian for Monday. Of course, every day is mine, and maybe theirs. But if we can make every Monday a bombardment to heaven for God to take back our country.
Darling, I think we ought to make it daily.
Well, yeah, mine's 24/7.
That's what I meant. You need to make it
but
daily.
But everybody doesn't have time. But
I understand. Well, no, that's something you got to make time for. Anyway, listen, Miss Sue, I appreciate it, Shay. I really do.
Okay, and I pray for your little girl and all the things that you're going through,
well,
too.
Thank you, ma'am. But, Maddie got one of the best attitudes, so pray for her daddy.
Oh, okay. Somebody said at church yesterday, said, well, you and your daughter look alike. And I said, oh, but she's a lot sweeter than me. I'm working on it, though.
Yeah, I understand. So, well, thank you, ma'am. God bless. Thank you.
Okay.
Brandon, by the way, now, this is KPEL shooting report at Moss Bluff. Did y'all get anything else? Said the incident undercrow, no active threat at the time. They don't really give us a whole lot. It said that Brandon said it revealed that this was likely, this is what they're saying, an accidental shooting.
Yeah.
First grade student allegedly brought a gun to school, which accidentally discharged when he dropped it, injuring another student in the classroom. We have no idea reports injury. Hope it's just hitting the foot of the leg or something. They're not giving that right now.
No, they're not giving it. And I mean, again, it's an isolated incident. No other children are in danger.
No, nobody else. But now, Brandon, that in itself makes me feel good as long as the little man or little lady, they didn't say if it was male or female, as long as the person that was hurt can get back to full recovery. You never know. I mean, that was one of those deals that, elementary school child bringing a gun. I mean, that's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder what was the purpose of bringing the gun?
Can't help but think the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, an elementary child bringing a gun to school. I don't understand that. That's beyond my pay scale right there, I guess. Because I can't. It's hard for me to understand. The good news, Brandon, it wasn't a shooting. It's kind of reported the first time. It was kind of like a shooting going on, but it didn't. It really didn't say accidental at first. But it